What up, everybody? Welcome back to Cafecito and Canes. On this joyous Victory Sunday, we are here to celebrate that 48-33 butt whooping. Yes, that's right. I said butt whooping of Texas A&M yesterday. Now, before we get into that, I wanted to, touch on the Cam Kitchen situation. Obviously, I think by now a lot of us have seen the picture floating around of him in his hospital bed, throwing up the U with his family, all smiles. We heard from Mario Cristobal that, initial reports are positive. It seems like he's going to be okay. As soon as I saw that, it was a scary scene last night towards the end of the game where, he wasn't really moving much and they had to wheel him out on the stretcher. Always very scary and upsetting to see that. But, I was concerned about Cam, the person, more than Cam, the football player in that moment. And, thankfully, it seems like so far Cam is going to be okay. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. We're all praying for you, Cam. As far as getting back on the field, hey, no rush on that. Please, I'm just concerned about Cam's well-being right now. So, thank God for that. He's, it seems like he's going to be okay. Hopefully, he continues progressing and, he'll be all right. Thankfully, it wasn't anything worse than that. Now that we move past that, I got quite a bit of angry comments in my last video from Texas A&M fans. I got, what are you talking about? You think you're going to push around our D-line? Our D-line's going to kill you guys? Incorrect. And you know what? I'll pause. I'll give a few seconds for you guys, to apologize in the comment section. Thank you. And also the people saying I was crazy for saying that I was questioning Connor Wigman's arm strength. Maybe his arm strength wasn't the problem. Obviously, 5-star recruit. Kid's got an arm and he showed it in the game. I'll give him his props. He was basically Texas A&M's entire offense. He threw the ball like 51, 52 times, something like that, for like 6.25 yards per attempt. The yards per attempt isn't great, but credit to Miami's defense there. But as far as me questioning, those throws he made in the first game that he underthrew some touchdowns against New Mexico State, yeah, I'm not walking that back because he did. Through his first 2 career interceptions against Miami, again, great job by Lance Guidry and that entire defense. Of course, before the injury, Cam played a great game. He was all over the field. He had the first interception after the receiver slipped and fell. You had Corey Couch getting basically the game-winning interception to kind of seal the deal. Great play by him after he kind of struggled throughout the game. Great job there. Jaden Davis played awesome. I mean, I think he finished with like 8 tackles, a couple TFLs, the forced fumble, which was, in my opinion, defensively the play of the game. That really cemented this, to me, it cemented our win because we were up, I want to say 31-20 at the time. We forced the fumble and then we end up kicking, I believe we end up kicking a field goal, something like that. I know it put us up it put us up 2 scores and we pretty much had a stranglehold on the game the rest of the way. And also credit to this team for being so mentally tough because the way the game started, falling behind 10-0, again, special teams mistakes, dropping passes, just you saw the same old, and we thought this game was going to go downhill in a hurry. I certainly had those thoughts, but I was like, you know what? It's very important that they do not panic. If they don't panic, they're going to be all right. And sure enough, they started cleaning up the mistakes, and Tyler Van Dyke, like I said before, if he morphs into Tyler Van Dimes from 2021, all bets are off. Like we're going to win this game and it might not even be close. If he plays to the caliber that he's capable of. Again, the finger was a question mark. Obviously we've seen 2 versions of Tyler. Yes, Josh Gaddis was his OC last year. He had a terrible O-line, but he didn't play well. So we've seen 2 different Tylers. We needed to see the good one for this game. And sure enough, we did. Almost 400 yards passing for 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, played an efficient game. He was a field general. And credit to him for giving credit to the offensive line. To me, the offensive line was the MVP of this game. I mean, they did exactly what I thought might happen. As talented as that Texas A&M D-line was, and it wasn't on my mind, but I was like, you know what? I feel like our physicality can not only match them, but can overcome them, and they did. Tyler had all day to throw yesterday. It was beautiful, and Tyler gave props to his O-line. So credit to all guys. I'm gonna name all of them: Jalen Rivers, Francis Mauinoa, Matt Lee, Javion Cohen, and Inez Cooper. If anybody else got in there that maybe I didn't notice, I apologize if I missed you, but the starting O-line did some work yesterday. Cam McCormick, of course, you know, continuing to block very well from the tight end spot. He had a big catch in the game. The wide receivers. This is why I've been saying I didn't think the wide receiver play was the main problem last year. Drops were an issue, yeah, but them not getting separation, I thought, you know, it was more of the scheme and the lack of O-line and quarterback play. It was a lot of other things. I never totally lost faith that our receivers could be playmakers, especially a guy like Jacoby George, a blue chip recruit coming out in the 2020 or 2021 class. I want to say it was 2021. It was a couple years ago. Shout out to Steve-O. He does great work on his channel. He's been talking about Jacoby George, I feel like, for the last 3 years, and we saw the Jacoby George game. He's certainly capable of having games like that. To me, he's kind of like what Mike Harley should have been. A bit like a more elite, more talented version of a Mike Harley. You know, maybe a little bit longer. He can go up and get the ball. He certainly has that speed. He has the skill. Kobe Young had a nice game. Xavier Restrepo, though, leading the team in receptions, being a true leader. You're seeing on-field leadership on this team, and I love it. You know, Francisco Mauinoa all over the field, making tackles. I heard his name called a lot. But all in all, great job by everyone across the board. Coaching staff, offense, defense. Special teams was awful in the first half, but even them, mental toughness. They could overcome their own mistakes. They didn't get down on themselves. Brashard Smith had that kickoff return that I thought really shifted the momentum in our favor. It was 21-17 opening drive for A&M. They start marching down the field. Connor Wigman, give him credit. He got into a nice rhythm. The offense got in a nice rhythm. We were able to hold them to a field goal. I think that's the one where we caused a false start. I say we caused a false start on 4th and inches because the crowd had a lot to do with that, and I'll get into that in a second. But I want to say it was that drive. False start, pushed them back. They had to settle for a field goal. It was 21-20. A&M's got a little momentum. They kick it off. Brashard Smith just up the gut. Blazing speed, takes it to the house. Huge play. Hard Rock Stadium went ballistic. It was awesome. It was an awesome scene. It was a party in the crowd. Great block, by the way, by Xavier Restrepo to spring him. As soon as I saw that block, I knew he was gone. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and give my thoughts, my recap on the game. Yes, a lot of mistakes, but the difference between last year's team and this year's team, they don't have the snowball effect of those mistakes. They didn't let them get it. They didn't let it get them down. They didn't, you know, start pointing fingers at each other. None of that. They stayed within their game plan. They knew they believed in themselves. They knew, hey, if we clean up the mistakes, we can beat these guys. And sure enough, they did. So proud of this team, proud of the mental toughness, proud of, you know, just the staying focused, you know, trusting each other. This is a much different team from last year. Again, the mistakes might still be there, but they can overcome them. All right. So, by the way, before I go, I gotta mention, I know on game day they were saying it's going to be probably more Texas A&M fans than Miami fans there. There's no atmosphere at Hard Rock. Never mind that those same guys were saying it had an amazing atmosphere in 2017 for Notre Dame. But let's disregard that. Yeah, no, Hard Rock has no atmosphere. You know, I don't know. I was there, and yeah, was it 100% full? No. It never is unless it's FSU or a Notre Dame top 10 matchup kind of thing, at night especially. But September, during the day, it's a tough ask because, you know, it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. It's raining. It's just not going to happen. But 80 to 85% full, that's enough. There was a solid, you know, well into the 50,000s as far as attendance. And man, was it loud in that building. I saw a little patch of maroon or whatever the hell color A&M wears. I saw a little patch of them. But then the rest of the stadium, bright orange. Hurricane fans, loud, rocking, and they were rocking all game long. And it caused a couple of pre-snap penalties for Texas A&M, some costly ones. And I feel like it got to A&M's team a little bit. That atmosphere, I'm telling you, the way the sound bounces off that roof, it makes a difference. It makes up for the fact that maybe it's not 100% full. But let me tell you, it is loud in that building. It is loud in that building. It is an atmosphere if you get over 50,000 people in there. So great job all around. Fans, coaching staff, players, training staff, everybody. Congrats to the Miami Hurricanes. 48-33 drubbing of a Texas A&M team that was supposed to walk all over us, and they didn't. So congrats, guys. Got Bethune-Cookman later this week on Thursday night. I know a couple guys were nicked up. Mark Fletcher left the game with an injury. Obviously Cam, that's a more serious thing down the road. Whenever he's ready, he can come back. I'm concerned about him healing up and being okay. But, got a quick turnaround. It is Bethune-Cookman, but stay focused, get the job done, go out there and dominate, get the starters out quick. Hopefully Emory can go. That's a good game for Emory to at least play an entire half, maybe 2.5 quarters. That would be nice for him to kind of sharpen his toolkit against a Bethune-Cookman. It's kind of like a low risk kind of thing. He'll get good protection from his O-line and he'll be all right. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You know what it's all about. It's all about that U. Go Canes.